Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. Man, it's been a week. We're trying to get live. We're trying to get everybody on here, and we're still waiting on Sharenda, the Crazy Scotsman, and Chico Wise. We don't have Chico, so he'll be on shortly. We do have Echo and the BunnyMan, and we do have Squatch, and my brother Kyle Lusk is back from his uh, vacation from last week, and so it's good. And already the heckling begins.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, buddy. Love you, Mario. No homo.
It's not going to be like the foreign and domestic last Sunday, so.
Oh, I hope not. God Almighty, that was
funny. You need to go watch it.
Me and Angel just laughed like crazy. That was hysterical. It really was. If y'all haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching it.
Yeah, personally, 80 proof lacks a little to be desired, but hey, man, you know, that's a fine whiskey they was drinking. I just hated to see them down it so fast. So,
yeah, they weren't enjoying it at all.
Not like it's meant to be. But hey, Tex, Idaho Fuzz, JCM 45, Kyle Lusk is in the room. William C. Chafin, Mr. Curtis. Did I say Fuzz T4?
Not yet. You just did.
I just did. Chris 338. Hey, Uncle Jim, what's going on, brother?
Uncle Him.
Thor's Axe, Tacos and French Fries, Dead Horse, Edward Petty, Mario Mosen. We'll try to do better. Mario, we got to entertain Mario.
Well, I wouldn't say we'll try to do better. I couldn't ask for a much better group to hang around with.
I know, but my goal is always to try to get a better live stream going. Vanessa Kitty, Lakeview, Kyle Lusk again. There's Tread.
I didn't see Tread.
Yeah, Tread needs to quit being
He's a ninja. He comes in and you never see him.
summing one wrong. Welcome in, brother. I don't remember seeing that sign before, so we are always glad you're here. James Pollard.
Yep, welcome aboard.
Thor's Axe again. Vanessa Kitty, Bald and Curious. Yeah.
I wonder if he's done with his hangover yet.
Oh, he's way over that hangover. He's got some bourbon and nothing to watch. So come on in, man.
Oh, that was some of the best. That was some of the best live chats I've ever seen in my life last weekend. That was great.
Yeah. So apparently Chico has a date, James. So
oh no,
maybe he'll come in. There's Jason Stewart. Fuzzy Fork, I think I said everybody. Idaho, good to see you out there. Good. Andy, 79Z28. I didn't say him yet, I don't think. 6-shooter Texan. Andy again.
Joe Leadslinger. Broke Loader.
I didn't see them there, but they must be at the bottom. Let me refresh. There's Uncle John. Big E. Lakeview.
You have to excuse us, people. We're having to make up for Chico not being here.
Joe Leadslinger, Broke Loader, Bald and Curious, Rollis Carvelis. Daniel God is my judge. Uncle Jim again. All right, guys. Hello and welcome. I'll save that until Chico gets here before we do that again, because after all, Mr. Pollard, Chico reads better than Jamie does.
Oh, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, so there's Kingpin. Yeah. There's Thoughts of an Old Soldier. So y'all keep coming on in. Pile on in. We're going to have fun.
Come on in, children.
We're going to, okay.
He doesn't know what we're going to do, so I'm going to start talking.
Um,
I want to thank everybody for coming here on a Friday evening and spending y'all's time with us. We really appreciate every bit of it. It's been one heck of a week, and as all of y'all know, we always enjoy this time to just wind down and embellish the weekend. You know, we welcome it with open arms. Those of us that don't have to work on the weekends. We're done putting our time in, and we get a couple of days off, and we're glad to spend the wind down time with y'all, and hope y'all are glad to be here for it. I'm going to ask Mr. Squatch what you're doing, just because it's easiest, and I can go.
That's always the easiest move right there. I tell you, it's been pretty busy. I've been trying to spend some time down here. Got a lot of requests doing some kind of intro 223 stuff, but I'm lagging behind. My job's just been killing me here lately. But we had a little incident there last night at the mine. I work in a mine. We had a tornado buzz through. It's the only rain I've seen the last 3 weeks, but we had a tornado go through and no damage, but it was kind of a sight to see that. But no, I just doing a lot of praying and thinking about things, but everything's good. So I don't know if Echo's over there and ready, but I don't know which way is left or right. So I'm gonna go over with Echo over there if he's ready.
Yeah, Squatch. Thanks, brother. I have been doing some 223 reloading this week and watching what's been going on with the COVID virus here in the Tampa Bay area. And that's about it, really. Haven't been doing anything exciting.
Well, that can be
What
pretty
have you
exciting.
been up? Well, reloading, but I mean, I haven't been like out to shoot anything. I've just been reloading.
Sometimes it bees that way, buddy.
Yeah. I'm going to do some of these 357 maximum cartridge cases while we're doing this tonight. I'm going to show people how I lube them up and basically set up the sizing die, and also how to flare the mouths of the cases for these. I'm using copper jacketed, so I'm just going to go about 10 thousandths larger. So we'll see how that turns out. This is my first time reloading these 357 maximum cartridges, so I'm using Hornady 158 grain soft points.
Okay. All right. I think where we've been doing this beginning reloading thing, and where I think we got to is we got to the point where we were doing brass prep, but we had to stop because we had to get to the part. We got to the part where we needed a press. So yeah. So maybe, and we talked a little bit about presses last night. And if you look at Echo's bench right here, you see there on the far left, that is a Lee single stage. And then the one in the middle, in the center of that shot, is his Lee 4-hole turret press. And if you'll look behind Squatch, on over his right shoulder, or the left-hand side of the picture, is a Dillon 750.
Yep, that's a 750.
Okay, and then over his left shoulder, the right side of your picture, is the Redding T7 on a inline fabrication high-rise mount.
Yep.
And I have the flush mount on mine. And let me do mine right there in my picture. You can see the T7. And then if I move out of the way, right back here is the little Lee C-Press single stage. And do y'all think we should explain a little bit about how these different types of presses work? Or basically there's 4 types of presses: single stage, turrets, progressive, and you probably won't run into this, but some of the bench rest shooters have what they call an arbor press. And I don't have one, so I can't show you that. I have no idea how it's used or anything like that. But yeah.
Hey, Jamie, there's a question in there from Dead Horse. He was asking us guys that use the Dylan mount or the high rise inline fabs. These benches are 32 inches, and I'm about 6'2", so those are about a 9-inch rise, and that gives me a good leverage point, and it's very ergonomic with those mounts on a 32-inch bench.
So yeah, I reload setting down most of the time, so I have about a 32-inch high bench, but mine's on a flush mount, so it's flush mounted on the bench right here. So
My Dylan 550, I've got on a strong mount, the Dylan strong mount. I've had it before. They came out with the, oh God, just had the company name.
Inline fab, is that what you're looking?
Inline fab mounts. I had it before they came out with that. I've got it on a Dylan strong mount, and on a 36, 40-inch bench, it's actually very comfortable to just stand there and reload. I've got a lighting set up in it where I can see what's going on, and it works extremely well. I'm not knocking any press. Any press that works. I really don't have a preference because I own several different brands of presses. I use certain presses for certain things, and that's what works for me. So that's what you need to do, is figure out what you're doing and figure out what works for you.
well, I think I'm figuring out one thing that works for me. I think what I'm fixing to do is totally wipe this room out, and build me a higher bench, like say 40, 42 inches, and
Yes, sir.
put some shelves underneath it.
Jamie,
Yes.
all my benches are 42 inches tall. And
Cool.
the reason being is I worked as a mechanic at my uncle's Mercedes-Benz dealership in Orlando. And it was much easier when you're working to be standing for some people. And basically, that's why the lowest bench I have is like 36 inches, and it's the one with my vise on it, so that when I'm working on guns and building ARs, I have it lower so that I can not be looking up at something. I can be basically looking down on it and be able to work on it with my hands not being level. But with the presses, it makes a lot of difference when you have them a little higher up, gives you a little bit more leverage, and it brings it up into your face. So if you're an older gentleman or lady that's trying to get started, having a higher bench mount or a higher press mount is going to give you more eye awareness of what's going on and make you be able to actually look down and see what your press is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Andy says his benches are 39 inches tall with a 7-inch mount so he can sit or stand. And that's what I've got in mind is being able to sit on like a high bar stool if I get tired or be able to work standing up, which is better on us old folks' back sometimes.
Jamie, you have the flush mount inline fab, and one thing that Dan also offers for you guys that like to go up and down, sit and stand, he's got different size risers that'll go in that flush mount. So if you want to stand, you can just snap out of the riser in there, get your press up, or take it out and put it down and sit down and reload. So Dan's all over this game as far as different heights and has a lot of different options. And I mean, what he's got going on over there is just awesome for us reloaders.
Yeah, he does some good work too.
Yeah, Dan is a really nice gentleman as well. So when you call over there, 99% of the time you'll get him on the phone and he will be able to aid you if you're not that experienced or don't know his product line that well. He'll be glad to talk to you and spend some time on the phone with you, making sure you are set up with the right equipment that you need for your particular press, trimmer, or whatever you get.
Right. I'm gonna get one for this Hornady trimmer, the lathe style. So there's Cranky. What's up, brother?
Fuzzy always has good commentary. He's got a very good question, and I'm gonna relay this question to Scott. He wants to know what's up with the Dead Zero meetup. Scott, I'm gonna leave that in your ballpark. See what you can do and let us all know, because inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. Dead Horse. What I'm planning on doing is buying me an adjustable from Northern Tool, Northern Tool, like a stool, a very heavy duty stool that I can raise and lower the bench. And we need to say hello to Miss Sharinda.
Evening, guys.
Welcome in.
Mario.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hey.
Actually, I'm glad I made it to this one because I'm actually in the process of, I had one bench delivered earlier this week, and I need to buy me a chair too.
I'm telling you, if y'all have the resources available, I highly recommend 1/4-inch steel plate. You're not going to move it. I can reload anything.
If you got a way to get something heavy to your house, my really good friend that I'm actually doing these 357 maximums for is a 3rd-generation welder and owns his own welding shop here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I can design and build you benches to any size as long as you can cover the freight on them and the cost of the material.
Yeah, that's the key. I actually had just some stuff laying around, and I got a bench. Took 5 grown ass men to get in the house. Well, we're going to put it in the basement. We couldn't get it down there. So my master bedroom is now the reloading room. Just because there were French doors and we could come right in with the bench.
Yeah, the heavier and more rigid your bench top is, it'll be farther ahead for sure.
I don't want to say it this way, but I'm going to say it this way. Don't skimp. Go ahead and get, if you're going to do plywood top, get 3/4 plywood, 5/8 plywood, whatever. Don't go with 1/2-inch plywood. If you want to use 2x4s, that's great. Whatever. I had a bunch of steel laying around, and me and a buddy of mine welded it up. And hell, Jamie's seen it. He don't want to pick it up either.
So one of the things I was thinking about doing, since I know
And
you
do
guys
I-
don't care, is I sew. So I think I'm going to end up getting those old-fashioned Singer bottoms, because those are pretty heavy, and I'm going to put some wood on top of them too.
I can't believe that you would make that comment, Bald and Curious. Good Lord.
Just saw that. That's funny.
Yeah, she saw it.
I'm thinking of building mine. I'm going to have 4x4s, probably all the way to the ceiling in the back. 4x4 front legs, probably either a 2x8 or a 2x10 band around the outside. And I'm just going to get a sheet of plywood, rip it down the middle, double it over, screw both halves down on top, maybe some benches underneath, and a bench on the top, bench or two on the top, and then put my vise on it. And yeah.
Jamie, you live close enough. Would you like solid steel? I can hook you up.
Really?
Yeah.
2x8?
The 2x8. I was thinking like 4x10. Let's do it.
All right then. 2x8 plenty enough.
For those new guys on here, Thorzak's brought up a good point. There's a lot of bench plans. If you want to highlight a comment, Jamie, on the Reloading Manufacturers Association, their website, and my wife's on Pinterest. Believe it or not, I found plans on her Pinterest before for reloading benches and things. So there's all kinds of good stuff out there. The main thing is just getting going. Get your bench built, get your press mounted, and of course, have all your reloading manuals and stuff read before you do that. But just get her going.
I've still got my first bench that was nothing more than really a craft table. And I took some L brackets to secure it to some 2x4s in the basement. Still works great, still use it. And then I moved on to the 1984 Curtis Mathis console TV. I started screwing presses into that, and it worked great. Then we built this reloading table, and now it's in the master bedroom. So I've got 3 different reloading rooms in my house.
That's what I'm thinking, Elliot. I mean, AR guns. Yeah.
I got one for sizing, one for case prep, and one for loading. That's about the way that I use 3 different rooms to complete one round.
Look at Andy. 2x4 frame and a 2x6 top.
That'll do it.
Yeah, you really want to get rid of as much flex as you can, especially if you're running like a progressive with a bullet feeder or a case feeder. That movement really can cause issues, especially if you're trying to get going fast. So
that's move to the TV.
Yeah. Well,
you don't want any flex whatsoever.
Yeah, one of the things that as we're doing this beginning reloading thing, and I'm sure Echo's getting ready to show us some stuff. The first thing we need to tell the new guys is you don't have to have a lot of room or a big elaborate bench to get started. Like Kyle said, he started on an old TV chassis. I've got just a little roll around table right here. It's probably 2 foot wide and 3 feet deep for 20 inches by 30 inches, something like that. So, you don't have to have anything real big or a whole lot of room when you get started. But you can increase that room and increase the durability of your stuff as time goes on, and you can spend what you're happy spending on this hobby. it's like anything else. You can spend as much or as little as you want to, but as you get more involved and you seek to do more and more stuff, like Squatch was saying, you want to go progressive. You want to be cranking out that and bald and curious, cranking out that competition shooting pistol rounds. I mean, uh, Bald was doing that on foreign and domestic a couple of weeks ago. He cranked out 100 rounds in like 13 minutes. And that's the beauty of a progressive. But when I'm a rifle guy, I want my rifle shots to hit right where I'm aiming. And for that, I need a different style press. I don't really need progressive. I don't really need to crank out tons and tons right away, at least until I establish what load I want to stock up, and then I'll crank out 4, 5, 600 of them in batches slowly and keep them separated so that if I have a problem, I don't have to uh, undo the whole mess. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I've got 6 different presses, and or 5 out of the 6 are used for certain rounds. That's it. And then I've got one that is a free for all, and I can play with it. But I know that if I put this tool head in this press, no matter which brand it is, doesn't matter. I know it's perfect. I'll run one round through it, inspect that round. Yep, that's it. Okay, here we go. Time to go to town.
Yeah, if you can look up like Uncle Jim and find one of those old steel uh, office desks, yeah, that's the way to go. So,
Yeah, that was a killer find that he found right
yeah, it was. Yes, it is, Ball. So, yeah, you just, yeah, that's right, single shot. Find that good load before you start cranking out bunches of rifle rounds. But yeah,
And I haven't really even thought about it. They just said that pressure treated lumber is scarce. Um, that that really hadn't crossed my mind that I'm actually in the middle of rebuilding a fence and I need some. Before all this crazy stuff happened, the unwanted Chinese export, I could find boards and 2x4s and stuff like that. I need a couple other things, but I hadn't been back. So yeah, you might be onto something there.
so summing one wrong. Apparently, he's in the UK. Welcome, man. I know I done welcomed you, but it's impressive for us to have somebody from across the pond. I hope you come back. And
Welcome aboard.
OCD Outdoors is sitting on $4.99 apparently. If any of you guys are not subbed to OCD Outdoors, I wish you'd go over there and be the 500th subscriber. So that would be cool.
And we don't normally turn this into a subscriber driver, but if he only needs 4, yeah, whatever.
He only needs one.
I got
We can get you there, brother.
Oh, 496. So he needs 5 subscribers. Y'all
So
go look him up.
the only thing that we need to do to make everybody go subscribe to him is have Sharenda say, "Hey."
Hey, and I'm already subscribed.
There, it'll be done. It's done. We got you, boo.
So apparently, Cranky and Uncle Jim are talking about 9mm pistols. I'm lost.
Oh, let's see what they got.
And there is Pink Shears. All right.
What
Look
it
at,
do?
Oh, and Jamie, I got something for you. A link for you too.
I'm waiting on Sharena to give us some more Hens Den updates.
I'm working on it. So yeah, you said you saw that nightmare I have to fish through,
Oh, you'll get it. You'll get it.
and still trying to sneak in hunting and fishing in between. Which
Mario Mosen. So Bald says he's there. Cool. All right, y'all are blowing me up. I can't keep up. Look at there, JCM OCD. Who loves you, brother? All right, Jason's got a question.
Jamie in the side chat, can you tell me if that works?
Yeah, give me a minute. Y'all help Jason out here on his rollaway tool chest.
I actually do that right now. I actually invested and got a well, I've had it for a couple of years, a Craftsman's tool chest double decker, and I actually have the stands that I set my dies and set up on. Roll it around with all my extra goodies in there.
I think whatever really is going to work for you, man. If you got a tool chest already, I say go for it. I've seen a couple guys try to mount presses on them, but I couldn't imagine chasing one around the basement trying to reload something on it. But
Yeah, I was pretty sure that they definitely had wheel locks on them.
Yeah, I only use mine just to hold my supplies and my dies.
As a mechanic for damn near 30 years, the brakes better work. Jamie, did that work? Sorry. I sent it on the side chat of the StreamYard, if that helps.
looks like thoughts of an old soldier's got a bug out. It was cool to see you in here, buddy.
Well, he's got a forced bug out, which is the problem.
All right.
His house got hit by lightning, and I don't know if they're going to have to tear the whole house down or if they can rebuild it.
Oh crap!
I've been trying to stay up with Lee on this, but he's rangering up, carrying on, um, keeping up his day-to-day actions, and they're actually, which I admire this, they have enough property where they can get which he never responded to my comment. I don't know if they bought it or not, but he's got a RV or a camper, what however you want to call it. It's totally self-contained. It just needs something to pull it. But he's got a camper on his property, so he can keep an eye on everything and while they're redoing it. But yeah, he's in a world of hurt.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
I just want to know if that worked.
Yes, it did.
All right. And unbeknownst is thoughts of an old soldier in the side chat.
He is.
Tell him to go away for a minute.
I ain't telling a viewer to quit to turn us off. What kind of crap is that?
All right. It was a mutual effort between me and several other people. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Lee, thoughts of an old soldier, his house got struck by lightning, caught on fire, and due to putting out all the insulation in the attic, he suffered extensive water damage, and he may end up having to rebuild his house.
Oh Lord.
Between, should I say names or no?
It doesn't matter.
No, the hell with it. Of course, the crazy Scotsman, me, and Jamie got together and made a GoFundMe to, in case he loses his living room furniture, let's buy him a new couch. I mean, let's just do what we do. I'm sorry I couldn't do more, and I'm not organized enough to be able to handle this. But Jamie, did you post a link?
Look at the screen.
Well, I am. I see Tread and Uncle Jim and Single Shot.
Not that screen. The YouTube screen.
Hang on. All right, there you go. If y'all got $5 or $10 laying around, hit that up. It's something I pulled out of my ass just to help Mr. Lee, because I really enjoy him.
And another thing, guys, I feel like I need to say is we know that there's a pandemic going on. A lot of guys are out of work. Don't do anything that you can't afford or easily replace. We help when we can and how we can, and we're thankful for whatever you can do. Don't put yourself in a bind.
Exactly.
If
to give what you ain't got.
If you feel led to help Lee, he's a great dude. I've met him in person. As y'all watch my videos, you've seen that. So
I still can't wait to eat barbecue with the man.
Well, I did. He's a big guy too. But most of y'all are bigger than me. I'm not very big, but he's a whopper. Not a small man at all. So let's get to the point of what we're doing here. What do you got going on in there?
Sir. What I'm trying to do is get the proper flaring on a case mouth. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let's see if I can get it to. Is it getting any better?
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, I put a little flare on it. Then I'm going to check it by setting a bullet on top of it and see if it's going to, if I went too far or if I didn't go far enough. I feel it flare, because it's got an expander that goes down in there, and then it puts just a tiny bell on the opening if you crank it down far enough. This one has the mouth is 10 thousandths bigger. So we're going to see. Pulling out some ammo here. Let's see what we got. That's all two.
Yeah, that looked a little severe.
Yeah, looked a little trumpeted to me.
Hey, Echo, what do you normally try to shoot for? I've always found between 10 and 12 thousandths usually will get the job done, unless I'm running cast and it's got to be a little bigger for these new guys.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just trying to find the ammunition where I stuck it. This looks like them.
And for some of you new guys, Lee actually makes a die where if you over flare it to put a bigger bullet in, they have an overall case sizer. What do they call that? The full length.
Factory crimp die with the it's got a carbide ring in it.
Right. Yes. It doesn't just do the crimp. It does the case and everything. And I actually have to use that with some of our 44 Magnum bullets because they are large and in charge. And you have to flare the case so much to make it accept the bullet.
It might not be too over flared. Because when you seat it, it's going to push it back over.
So Willie Bullet Man's here. We can start now.
Oh, it's time to get to work.
And Tin Man's here. What's up, brother? Yeah, we got to start acting like somebody. quit playing around.
Let me just go ahead and say, hey, Mig, bye, Mig. Of course, he's not there yet, but
He ain't here yet. So let's okay. We were talking about doing our brass prep. First thing we got to do is gather up our brass. We got to clean it, and we talked about different ways of cleaning it. Ozark sent me these. I got a video up today at the Reloaders Network, and I'll probably turn it live as soon as we get off here tonight. But he sent me these cases for 7.62 by 54R, and they look like a 30-30 on steroids, basically. So these look pretty clean. They actually have been cleaned, but they didn't poke the primer pockets out. I generally poke the primer pockets out before I clean mine, before I put them in the tumbler. He also sent me pace setter dies, Lee pace setter dies for 7.62 by 54 Russian, and sent me a cartridge checker, a Lyman cartridge checker for 7.62 by 54R. He also a hat, gloves. So Ozark, thank you, brother. I know you're not out there, but we'll talk about this later when you are. So I like that hat and gloves. But I think what I'm going to do right now, while David's checking the bell on that, the flare on that case, I think that's a little much.
What about this, Jamie?
Let's see. Much better. Set your bullet up on top of it. Do you got one handy?
Yep.
Yeah. That's all you need, guys. Just enough for that bullet to set down in there real good. Because if you get it too bailed out, when you go to seat the bullet, you'll rip that case mouth. Right, David?
Oh, yeah. And plus, anytime you keep spreading the mouth of your case more than it should be spread, you work harden it, and you will get cracks like what Jamie's talking about, or even worse, you'll split a case during firing, and it'll usually go all the way down the side of it.
It will.
Shorten the case life. Too much flare.
Yeah.
And Uncle Jim's got a good point with jacketed. You barely need any flare at all. With copper jacketed bullets, I pretty much just don't do it. I just poke them on down in there. And that's probably not the best thing to do either. But now when you start talking about cast lead, that's a totally different story. You got to spread that out because you don't want to shave your brass. I meant your lead of the bullet. If you shave that lead, you cut that powder coat off. You're going to lead your barrel. There's just no other way around it. David, Echo, Jason Stewart's got a question. Can you measure the flare amount? I think how you would do that.
That's what. Yeah, basically what I'm going to do is, since I haven't got the flare mount, the mount just right, I re-lubed it. I'm going to run it up inside the sizing die again. And basically, it's fighting me because the mouth is so flared on this one. Wow, it is really fighting me. There it goes. Boy, it's not liking that. Yeah, that was way over flared. So what I did was I tightened it back up. And if you use your caliper and you go here, I'm looking at 370.375. So or 3715. So I'm almost 372 thousandths out. And then we'll go in here. So we'll call that 372. We'll go over here and we'll open this mouth up and we'll see I backed it off quite a bit. So we'll see here.
So Big E.
Usually about 10,000.
Yeah, Big E makes a good point that I was not aware of. 357 Max will buckle without a flare, even on jacketed bullets. So you got to have a little bit of a flare in there. That's something that I've learned tonight. So I load 357 Magnum.
What was that?
He's saying that I guess the brass is thin on 357 Maximum, and that it will buckle or split if you don't have it flared. Because I was saying with jacketed bullets, a lot of times I don't flare my cases. So
yeah, it'll buckle it when you're sitting it.
Yeah.
I'm getting 376 and I was 371.5. So I'm at almost 377. So let's see, 372. So it's 4 thousandths I've added to it.
Little trick I do.
The bullet likes to sit in there.
Once I got the diameter, once I got the calipers on the diameter of my case, I'll just zero my calipers and I can measure my flare real quick.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of pistol brass or a lot of pistol reloading.
But Tread brought up a good point too while he's doing that, Jamie, is if you do over flare and you want to shrink it down like Echo did, if it won't go up in your sizing die, sometimes you can hit it with your crimp die and it'll bring it down enough where you can get it back in your sizing die.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, but I don't have a factory crimp die for 357 Maximum. Are you just talking about running it up in a regular like roll crimp?
Yeah, you can just bump it in there either in your roll crimp or in a taper crimp die. I know that's obviously a roll crimp, but either one of those dies, if you just bump it in there, it'll bump it down enough to get it in your sizing die if you overdo it.
Yeah, I think that's set pretty good right there.
You ain't right.
It's holding the bullet. It's got a little bell on it, but just a tiny bit, about 4 or 5 thousandths. And it's holding the bullet on top to where I can't even drop it out. And I can't shove it down in there or anything ridiculous like that. So that seems to be working.
God almighty, Buzz. Jesus. Oh.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes.
Did you want to go over on how to set dies up?
We can do that.
We prefer you follow manufacturer's recommendations, but yes, we can show that.
Sometimes you can't because they'll tell you wrong.
Well, as a disclaimer,
yeah, basically once you learn the basic skill of setting them up.
Okay, which one of y'all want to talk?
Kyle's always ready to talk.
No, blow up Echo. He's ready to be viewed.
All right, let's see it.
What I'm doing is I'm running this back up inside my full length sizing die, which is not carbide. It's an old school. Whoa, she's making some noise there. Scraping off all the old, probably old stuff. These dies are 1983 RCBS. Well, we'll do what Squatch was saying by zeroing this out and seeing what we got here. They're saying the casing should be in the book 379 at the front and at the back. But I wasn't getting anywhere near that after resizing. And I know it's going to knock it down to Sammy. Because I'm getting 371. And if I get real close to the mouth, I'm getting 371.5. So we'll call it 371.5 and 0. And then we'll run it up in here. And that's the good thing about a turret is you can just spin the thing. You set your dies up, and then you can have multiple turret heads, and you can actually just turn the turret without having to pull a die out. So if you're experimenting back and forth to find the correct amount of flare, you don't have to keep changing dies out like I would on my O press.
Good point. So,
yeah, it's put a 4,000 flare on it. Let's see how that is. I think that's going to be perfect. I mean, I know this case is kind of thin at the top, so I'm used to 357 Magnum brass, and it's a little bit thicker, and it is true what they said. They made it a little skinnier down there at the end, but I think it's going to work. I mean, only seating it will tell you. And if you booger the first one, you know better to open it up a little bit more. But we're opening it up 4 thousandths, and that seems to be okay on a jacketed bullet, even though it isn't too much. You know, there's no boat tail or anything like I'm used to using rifle rounds. So this is kind of different.
okay, how about Big
Yeah,
Game?
okay.
How do you know? So, what platform are you shooting this round out of?
A Contender pistol with a 14-inch barrel.
Cool. I think that's what Big E.
And this is how I do my brass. Everybody's got their own little way on how they do brass, how they lubricate cases. Usually, you don't have to lubricate pistol brass when you're using carbide dies. I like using it no matter what, even with carbide. But what I'm using here is this Lee case lube. And the reason why I use it is this stuff is actually a commercial product for brass. It's actually what the manufacturers of cartridge casings use when they're mechanically drawing or hydraulically drawing the brass and making it into a cartridge case. This stuff, you can order it in 10 and 55-gallon drums, 10-gallon and 55-gallon, all the way down to 5-gallon to these tubes. And it's the exact same product. And basically what I'm doing is I just put a little bit in there. That's probably more than I need. I got like 40 cartridges here that I'm going to stick down in here. And these things are just those reusable little things you buy at Walmart or Publix, Winn-Dixie, or any of your little grocery stores, little disposable like Tupperware. Here, let me get that. And what you're trying to do is you're not trying to like coat these things with like, you know, where they look like they've been dipped in lard. What you're looking for is when you put this brass in, it was shiny. And as this stuff dries, and you can use this Lee lube dry or wet, but when it dries, you notice all this brass is turning dull. And that's what you want. That way, you know, you got enough on there to do the job and you don't get the dreaded stuck case.
Yeah, stuck cases are a booger bear. Okay. I also use for case lube. I have some of that same stuff. If I can find it. Yes, right here. And in this die set that Ozark Spirit sent me, there is they put a little envelope in there with Lee die set. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, Echo, I want to know where you're buying 5-gallon pails of that stuff, 5 and 10-gallon pails of that stuff. So, okay, let me recap, and y'all help me out here. All right, so we gathered up our brass and we cleaned it. Before I clean mine, I deprime it or decap it, whatever you want to call it. And I use the Lee Universal Decapping Die on that little C press to do that. That's why it stays sitting over there all the time, so I can just deprime. That's pretty much all I use it for. I try to use it to size bullets, but that can turn into a problem. Eventually, I'll break that doing that with that little press. But okay, so we decap them and then we clean them. After that, we got to let them dry. So at this point, we've got to size them, which is what Echo was telling you about today. If you're sizing your brass, if your dies are not carbide, and sometimes guys, if you want to be on the safe side, lube them anyway. But if you don't have carbide dies, if you have steel dies, you've got to lubricate your cases. And he's using the Lee stuff. Maybe we can go through the room and share about how some other methods of lubing cases. Squatch, you want to run with that?
Yeah. So it really depends on what I'm loading. And I'll bring up one shot. If I'm doing auto loading pistol stuff, even if I'm using carbide dies, I like to use one shot on like my 9mm, 10mm, 45 ACP stuff like that. That I'm going to run over on the Dillon. I just did a video starting off on 223, actually doing some sizing, and I showed you guys 2 methods I like to use. Probably my favorite if I'm doing precision small batches. I like the Imperial sizing die wax. It's kind of like a waxy. It's a little bit greasy, kind of like a thick Vaseline, and it works really good with dry neck lube that comes in a kit you can get from Redding. And then I also really like the RCBS lube, but I've used Dillon case lube, the lanolin alcohol mix. I mean, really just want to get some lubricity on the brass so that you're not, work hardening it too much and you're saving those dies. But Jamie's absolutely right. When it comes to steel dies, you got to have some kind of lubrication or you're going to be drilling out a sizing die, no doubt. What do you got cooking, Sharanda, for lubrication?
So when I'm doing my pistol rounds, I do one shot. I just use the gallon sandwich bag, put a couple of handfuls in, give them a couple of shots, shake it up. The rare occasions I get to do rifle rounds, you like the Hornady case lube, one that comes in a little round container like that, and the RCBS lube pad.
Yeah.
that's what I've used so far. I'll probably, after I get set up, branch out in a couple other brands to see which I like best. But those were the ones I was introduced with, so I've just kind of been sticking with them.
We're talking about lube, Kyle, if you missed it.
Oh, no, I've been here the whole time. I've just been stuffing my face.
Better not be bacon.
When it comes to brass sizing, I prefer the lanolin and alcohol mixture. It's a simple recipe. You pour alcohol into a bottle, you pour oil in it, and shake it up. Let it sit for 5 minutes. If the oil settles to the bottom, you have enough. That's pretty much the recipe that I follow. When it comes to bullet sizing, I like the Lee that white goop, and it's resizing lubricant, and you can't buy it. They gave it out with the sizing kits for the cast bullets. There is no part number, and you can't get it. But I've got like 5 tubes of it, and for like 500 Smith and Wesson, and
they sell it now, Kyle.
Oh, do they? Okay, all right. They didn't used to.
Yeah.
No.
As a matter of fact, they would give out those little plastic packets. Is that what you got? Was originally those little like one-time thing you tear open? They're foil and they're full of the lubricant.
No, actually, well, I've got a couple of those. Actually, I've got like 6 or 8 of those tubes, like Jamie just showed.
This is really good, guys.
That's amazing lubricant.
And I don't know how it works. Sometimes the way Echo showed was putting it in the tub and shaking it up. I saw the first guy I ever saw do that was Gun Blue 490. Any of you guys don't know Gun Blue 490, you gotta go check him out. He's just he's forgot stuff that I'll never know, but he does it just like Echo showed you. And this stuff,
he was a Smith and Wesson armor. He went to armor school back in the 70s after he got back from the Vietnam War and learned how to service 30 Smith and Wesson revolvers. And then he worked as a police armorer for over 20 years and as a consultant and a firearms forensic person that would come in and talk to the juries and explain to the people, laymen, about firearms. And he's a really, really good guy, and he knows a lot about firearms and a lot about reloading. And it's just an overall really good, decent guy. So if you guys get a chance, look him up and subscribe to him. You'll learn a lot.
All right, this is
plus you can also subscribe to my channel. I actually have one.
That would be a smart thing too. Echo's a fun dude. But one thing I'm noticing that I'm having to go back and resubscribe to people. And there's some people that I'm subscribed to that I don't know how I got subscribed to those people. And I don't drink. So
it's magic.
Yeah. Let's talk about what Kyle's holding up right there. That to me is I don't do mine that way. You see this? I actually measure mine out with a NyQuil.
Hey.
What?
Oh, you got one of Squatch's, a little Squatch showed up.
Yeah, one of my mini Squatches just poked her head in there.
Oh,
but this is all I was saying. You mix it up to where you got a little bit of oil on the bottom of it after it's settles, that's good to go.
Mine is about empty. So 1 ounce equals 2 tablespoons. I've got 10 ounces of alcohol and 1 ounce of lanolin. Okay. And this is going to have to be refilled soon. But you see, it's getting cloudy, so I'm going to use all that up for a mix more.
But it lasts forever.
This is a
What?
this is 8 fluid ounces of lanolin oil that I bought on Amazon. I think I paid $16 for it. Your mileage may vary. Chico can probably find it for 99 cents, but I paid $16 for it.
See dealer for details. Options shown, may not be available in your area.
It's a nice honey color.
Yeah, and make sure you buy the oil because they make lanolin wax in a solid paste and a solid, and you have not tried to mix something until you've put paste or a solid lanolin down in isopropyl alcohol and try to shake that stuff up. You can use an egg beater and still have chunks of it in there. So make sure you get the oil.
What you make is lubricating meringue.
So what you can do with that is if you've got a double boiler or something like that, you can heat it up. You just heat it up before you mix it with the alcohol, because if you put the alcohol in there and then heat it up, your alcohol is going to evaporate and you're going to be left with just the lanolin and the wax. So 1 ounce of this, 10 ounces of this.
Yeah.
This is 99% alcohol. If you can find 99% alcohol at the drugstore, then you can buy that. You can use 90%, but it's going to take a little bit longer for the water that's in there to evaporate. So this and your lanolin, and I do like what Shereen was saying. I've got a bag down here. You can see it's coated on the inside with that stuff, and it's sticky. But yeah, see, it's a mess. Every once in a while, it wouldn't hurt you to grab a new freezer bag or whatever. So yeah,
actually, I think you're a little bit on the wrong side there. The inside of the freezer bag is already coated with lanolin. What's it going to hurt? I've been using the same bag for 4 years.
You know what I'll do sometimes, Kyle? I have a bottle of 90% alcohol in a spray bottle.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just, like pistol rounds, I'll just dump like 100 or 2 of them in that bag and just spray it with alcohol and shake it up and rub it up.
Yeah.
So, but you take a bag like this and just squirt that stuff down in there, seal it off, rub it all up, and then dump it out and let it dry, and then it's already lubed. One of the things we're going to be focusing on as the weeks go by, and Echo continues to join us. And one of the reasons I wanted Squatch on here was the fact that we want to be talking about AR, reloading for AR platform, because ARs, there's so many of them out there. When it comes to sizing 223, 5.56, particularly the military cases, my lube of choice is this stuff, and that's the Hornady Unique. I think what is that other stuff? The Imperial Sizing Wax. That stuff is almost the same stuff. It's probably a little bit more expensive. Is that Redding?
Yeah, it's Redding. You're paying for the Redding. Same stuff.
This is a sizing wax right here, Jamie. Let's see. Imperial sizing wax. Let's see, where am I? Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, this is good stuff.
It is.
And basically, the thing is, you got to realize is when you're using a lubricant, you need to know, is it going to interfere with my gunpowder? Is it going to interfere with my primers? Because the good thing about the Lee is that it can be used and you can actually load a case right afterwards. You don't have to remove this. This will not, it dries to a powder, and it does not affect gunpowder whatsoever or primers. Your imperial sizing wax, that stuff you want to clean off before you seat bullets in it, because it can mess with neck tension, and it can also contaminate powder and make it glob. So you need to know what you're using so that you don't run into a problem depending on how OCD you are. Like, I'm going to throw all these as soon as I expand the mouse in my Frankfurt Arsenal wet tumbler with no pins, just a little squirt of Dawn dish soap, and tumble them, dump the dish soap out, and tumble them water until they're perfectly clear of any type of cleaner, like the Dawn. And then I'll throw them in the dryer and dry them for an hour and a half, and then they'll be ready for loading primers, powder, and bullets.
Okay. One thing I do is, and then I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. When it comes after I lubed them and sized them, what I like to do is throw them in my vibratory tumbler for about 2 hours with a mixture of walnut and corn cob, and use that and that action and that abrasive action to get that lubricant off of there. And that's the only thing I've found that I can. That's the only thing I use my vibratory tumbler for anymore. There's none of that dust. I mean, none of that lead dust, none of the burnt powder or anything. So I feel pretty safe using it for that, because all it's doing is cleaning that lubricant off. And I think that's a very efficient use of the vibratory tumbler and the media I have. Okay, so something gone wrong is asking, does anybody out there load 303 British? So if any of you guys do, chime in. And OCD Outdoors wants to talk about primers, but we'll get to that in just a minute. But one of the things I wanted to say about this stuff, unique case lube when it comes to sizing 223, 556 military stuff. This is the only thing that I've used that I know I will not get a stuck casing. Period. I've used all the others. Now I've heard Squatch say he uses this for pistol brass. For pistol brass, this is fine. But for rifle brass, don't even think about it. And this stuff right here does not interfere with gunpowder, just like the Lee stuff. But we also had a question. Echo, do you remember where you get that Lee lubricant in the 5-pound, 5-gallon cans, or
I'll have to look that up, Jamie. Yeah, I'll have to look it up, because the guy at Titan Reloading was the fella that actually told me about it. And I wrote it down, but I don't know where that information is. What I'll do is I'll call Michael tomorrow or Monday, and I'll have that information for everybody on the next live stream, so that if you want to buy a large containment of it, it gets cheaper like anything else the more you buy of it.
Okay, that's great.
Plus, if you're not buying something with the name brand on it, you usually get it a little bit cheaper.
Not just that, but you buying something without that name brand and in that quantity, it'll be much cheaper than this 2-ounce tube. I'll put it that way, per ounce.
I will have to say that using the lanolin and alcohol formula, I've had one stuck case, and that's because I didn't lube it. There was one that I had sitting on the table, and I said, "Oh, there should be enough lube in the dye." There wasn't.
I'm telling you, 556 and 223 are the most aggravating rounds to.
And that's exactly what it was. It was a 223 case.
Yeah.
I had to invent a tool to get it back out.
Jamie, if I could just
The problem.
talk about that.
Go ahead, Squatch.
5.56 and 2.23 cases. I've struggled in the past using like the Dillon case lube and the lanolin and alcohol, and the reason is it's hard to meter how much lubricant you get on there. You can over lube a case, and you can get dents in the shoulder here. And one thing I wanted to note, if you could blow me up here, Jamie, is when we're looking at the 5.56 case, or this is a 2.23 here, when I'm lubricating, if I'm using either the wax or the lube pad, I'm lubricating from the base of the shoulder down, and then I will actually just barely tip the case mouth on the lube pad, just a little bit of lubrication there, trying to avoid lubricating on this neck or on the shoulder, because you can get dents. It'll actually create a like some hydraulic pressure in your die and put dents in your shoulder.
Yeah,
but
you will get craters.
With the what Redding also offers is a dry neck lube here, and all it basically is little plastic or ceramic beads that's got graphite lube, and we're basically
silica powder or mica.
We're just basically tapping the case mouth in there, and that will not interfere with your gunpowder or anything. But as you indicated, Jamie, one thing I do is I'll always put them back in a dry tumbler, get that lube off there before I move on to the next step. You know, you don't necessarily have to, but I'm a little OCD on things as well, like Echo mentioned. But those are things that you want to consider, especially messing around with 223 and 556. It is aggravating. But if you apply, lube in this area, just at the base of the shoulder down, you're going to avoid a lot of headaches with shoulder dents and things like that. But I've been pretty successful going that route, and knock on wood here, yet to have a stuck case. I did try the one shot, and I was having some success, but I could feel every once in a while it was getting a little tight, and I just backed off. I didn't want to have one of those days where you're spending more time getting a case out of a die than cranking out rounds. So,
can I express
also? Hold on, Kyle. If you guys use the Lee stuff, when it dries, it will not hydraulically dent cases. So you don't. I just did 1,500 rounds of 223 mixed head stamp. And the reason why 223 and 556 get stuck in dies is because most chambers that are stamped 556 are a little bit oversized, so that they'll work with dirty casings that may be in sand, mud, water, what have you. And because of that, the brass expands a little more than it would in, say, a bolt action rifle. So when this happens, it overexpands. It creates memory, because brass has a personality. It memorizes the last chamber that it was expanded to. So what you end up doing is not putting enough lube on the case or too much of a certain type of wax-based lubricant, and you will get a stuck case. This stuff is stupid proof. You put it on enough to turn the cases dull and not even worry about wiping it off shoulders or necks, and you won't have a problem. I've reloaded probably 10,000 rounds of 556 in the last 2.5 years, 3 years, and haven't had one stuck case with this stuff right here. And this is the cheapest stuff on the market compared to all the other ones that have been mentioned. This is cheap. Back to you, Jamie.
Kyle was trying to say something. Let's let him have a turn.
Okay. Sorry, Kyle.
No, you're good, brother. What I was going to say was, in my experience, it's been a minute since I bought factory ammunition. Been a long time, but like 5-6 years. When I bought it, when I bought 5.56 or 223, whatever you want to call it, because I bought both. Buy it in 1,000 round packs, so you get a discount on it. One thing I've noticed is it was a lot cheaper to buy it than it was to reload it, because you have to go through, sourcing the projectiles and then the powder and all this stuff, and you have to go through everything that we're talking about right now: sizing the case, trimming the case, prepping the case. Everybody's happy. Make a bunch of nice little things just waiting to accept a projectile. But I've been hearing, and I want everybody's opinion on this. I've been hearing claims that you can't find ammo on the shelf anymore for 5.56. Is that true?
It's
right up around
very
here.
expensive, and usually it's the stuff you really don't want to shoot. I've seen a lot of the Wolf metal cased, and
Right.
a lot of guys swear by shooting metal cased in an AR-15, and it was never designed to shoot metal case ammunition. Russians have had metal case ammunition since the 60s during the Vietnam War. The reason why it works in an AK is because the case is tapered. It's not like an AR-15 piece of brass that is 223 Remington or 5.56, which is mostly straight walled. It's got a tiny taper to it, but nowhere near what a 7.62 by 39 or a 5.45 by 39 is. And
Well,
that's why those weapons can eat it.
I was just wondering, because I haven't been in the market. I've been fortunate enough to not be in the market for factory ammunition in a long time. I don't even know. To me, it wouldn't matter if they quit selling it. That's how long it's been since I bought any. I was just. I'm gonna go to the side chat on this one. Is it that hard to find? I mean,
What area you live in too.
do we really need to start? Because everybody on the panel has shot and walked over a bunch of 223 or 5.56, whatever the hell, AR-15.
Right.
Everybody just walked right over the brass.
Not me, not anymore.
You dump 60, 80, 3,000 rounds. I'll pick up quite a few of them, and Jamie can tell you I got a couple of 5-gallon buckets full. But is it that dang hard to find? I mean, I can understand 9mm being a little hard to find, but which I wouldn't even imagine that 9mm would be hard to find. But 5.56 is hard to find. I mean, I'm hearing people paying $45 for a 20-pack. Why?
That won't even fill up one magazine.
Right. Why?
There's none at my local gun store. There's not 38 special. There's not 357 Magnum. There's not 9mm. There's not 223 or 5.56.
Okay, well, see, there's another problem that you run into. You become so self-sufficient that you don't care about the commercial supply. That's where I'm at right now. If I needed ammunition, you're telling me I can't go to the store and get it because it's not there.
Not right now, you can't. So let's talk about primers. OCD wanted to talk about primers. Does anybody use Remington 7.5s?
I haven't used their brand yet.
I've never used Remington because I've always had either CCI or Winchester.
I've used them all, and to be honest with you, I see very little difference. Chronograph speeds, anything like that. If you were, I know a lot of guys, you hear different horror stories about certain primers not firing. If you're setting your primers to the proper depth, I've never had an issue with any primer firing off.
That's been mostly my problem, is not setting the primer deep enough, and the firing pin just drives it home. You run it through there one more time, it'll go off.
Yeah.
And it's usually been
I
in
like
40
CCI.
feet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle. I got a little lag or something going on here, brother.
No, I was just saying, usually it's 45 ACP is the only time I've had that problem. And it was all loaded on a Dillon 550.
Yeah, the problem is right now is because of the coronavirus and on top of that, all the civil unrest, people are just more or less scared because they hear how all these groups are talking about defunding the police departments and all this other stuff. And the bottom line is people realize, and a lot of people for the first time realize that the police may not be there when you call them. So they're taking it upon themselves to arm themselves. 40% of all guns that are being sold right now are new gun owners. 40% of all guns that are being bought by new gun owners, 40% of that number are female gun owners for the first time.
What? I know somebody that's going to be a new female gun owner as soon as she gets her concealed carry permit back from the state. I'm fixing to be going shopping.
Because that's going to be such a hard job for you to do.
Oh, my pet frogs sound happy. Thanks, Julio. Appreciate that.
Okay, now the numbers on the Remingtons, I've got no clue. The Remington primers, 9.5, 7.5, 5.5. I don't know what that means. But yeah.
I don't know why they have to go in halves.
I would say if you can find primers now, buy them.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm out and I see if it's just one or two packs on
Remington
the shelf.
Outdoors.
Yeah, everybody seems to be stepping on everybody.
Yeah, Echo's got a little bit of a lag, so it takes him a minute to hear what's going on. Go ahead, Surrender. We ain't heard from you all day.
No, I was saying, yeah, if I'm out and I see one or two packs on the shelf, I grab those one or two packs. I even have people out. I saw one pack of primers I grabbed for you. Thanks.
I'm luckily in a position where I'm not hurting for primers. Like I say, if shit goes sideways tomorrow, I got more primers than I can shoot. So I really hadn't worried about it. That's why I was in such a shock that you can't find 9mm or 38 or 223 or anything like that on the shelf. It's been so long since I bought any. I hadn't worried about it, but apparently that's a thing. So, which is what I'm saying is, you need to start rolling your own, as Chico says.
Yeah.
Where are we going next, Jamie?
Something gone wrong has got another question here. Let's pop that up. If I make my computer work. Are primers generic to all kind of cases? Basically, there are 4 type of primers. You have small pistol, large pistol, small rifle, and large rifle. Then you also have the magnums if you want.
I was about to say you could go a little bit deeper and talk about magnums, but small pistol, small rifle, large pistol, large rifle. That's basically what you're looking into. I have messed up and loaded small rifle primers and pistol rounds and large pistol primers and rifle rounds, and haven't seen that big a difference. I don't know. I've raised this question a lot. Every now and then somebody comes up with some proof saying that I'm wrong, but I've just seen my experience. You have large pistol, large rifle, then small pistol, small rifle. But then again, Blazer was one of the ammunition manufacturers that wanted to complicate everything, and now they have small pistol primered 45 ACP cases. And if you're a reloader, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They get really annoying. They get stuck in your press.
Yeah, and you can get the Magnum version for all four types of the primers. But I tell you, I've accidentally loaded pistol rounds with small rifle, and they still shot fine, no increase in pressure or anything like that. And, then you got the match variety, but we're not to that yet. We're still working on
and nobody here is saying mix and match your primers. Nobody here is saying that. We're saying we may have made a mistake in the past and didn't see a really big difference. But nobody on this panel is saying you can use Magnum small rifle primers in a 9mm. Nobody is saying that.
Yeah, you also have two different cup depths. When you talk about small pistol or small rifle, the primer pockets are the same in diameter and in depth. When you talk large pistol and large rifle, the primer pockets are deeper on the large rifle. So if you tried to put a large rifle primer in a large pistol case, it will stick up and cause a slam fire. So don't mix your stuff unless you've talked to the brass manufacturer or the powder manufacturer and they've told you to do this for a particular reason or a particular load.
I think that pretty much covers all disclaimers.
Yeah, we're trying, Tread. So that's wild. Big E says 357 maximum uses small rifle primers. Magnum
In some load situations for Encore rifles, they'll use large or small rifle. But for if you're shooting an old Ruger 357 maximum, you want to stick to just the small Magnum pistol primers, or you may run into an issue.
Well, Jamie, if you want to talk about sizing, I wanted to go back to a comment that Tread made earlier in the side chat in regards to setting up your sizing die is the same on all presses. And I just wanted to put one disclaimer out there. That is true with the exception of anything that you like your progressive presses, like on your Dillon. You don't want to cam over on that shell holder on the Dillon press because you can warp that shell holder. Typically on the Dillons, it's just running around and kissing the die and maybe even back up an eighth of a turn when you're talking about a progressive, such as like a Dillon or something like that.
Yeah, because having that die run down in that deep, it may make your crimp die off or your feeding die or something like that, because it's going to angle that shell plate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good point. When it comes down to,
Hey, I got a question.
Okay,
Kyle, I got a question. When you're running a progressive, because you've got one, I don't. I'm thinking about getting a Dillon RL 1100. But what you were saying about how you're resizing on one side of the shell holder, the shell plate rather, and it's going to cause that side of the shell plate to deflect and push down more than it is, say, if you're doing a factory crimp on the other side. Do you want to set it up so that you're resizing and you're seating a bullet across from each other so that you get a little bit more force, or is that just not possible?
I understand your question. The die setting up procedure is different on like a Dillon progressive press than it is on, say, a 4-hole turret press from Lee or a single stage press. Single stage press, plain and simple. Run it down till it touches the shell holder. Maybe give another quarter turn depending on what round you're sizing. The Dillon process is a little bit different, and it tells you that, especially if you buy Dillon dies, which I'm not recommending anybody buy any brand of dies, but there is a different procedure for a progressive press. There really is. You try to make it where everything minimizes out or balances out. You minimize the movement of the plate. Can't see my hands here. You minimize the movement of the plate. Like you got the sizing die that is pushing the plate down, which would push this side up. No, you try to make it where both of them are at the same point at the bottom stroke of the load. So you'd run a test load through there and make sure that it's okay, and then you'd run another round through there while going progressive, and then check the first one that came out, and make sure your primer's in there. Make sure the overall length is right. This, that, and the other, and then you would adjust the sizing die and the seating die accordingly to make it to where it evens out. And it takes a couple of rounds. But once you get, especially on a Dillon, once you get it set up, you ain't got to mess with it. Just slide the tool head in there, put the pins in there, and go to town.
Look who slid in here.
Oh, Chico. Hey.
What's up, Chico?
What's going on? How's everyone doing?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Chico?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. All right, how's everyone doing? Sorry,
Hey, if you can't make it on time, just make it when you can, bro. Just saying.
Hey, Echo, that Dillon you're talking about, that RL1100s, that's a commercial unit. It's similar to the Mark 7. And I believe that there are spots in that shell plate in that head configuration that has like, I don't want to say dummy dies, but they'll have dies that run down and touch the shell plate to balance it out as you're running. Or they at least offer that option if you're doing, I don't know how many holes are.
All right. It's a 6-hole press. What are you running, an XL 750?
Yeah, I run a 750, and typically my practice is I'll just kiss that die on the shell plate. I'm not going to deflect it, but as I work around setting up the dies, I don't make my final adjustments until I have something in every station, because that's going to be most representative of when you're running the press. So after I've made that around the shell plate and I've got something in every station, that's when I finalize my die settings and I'm good to go.
And that's what Dylan recommends.
Yep.
Which is
So
different
basically, you would just leave the lock rings all the way up high.
Yeah. Once I got everything dialed in, I would start buttoning up. I only lock everything down typically when I've got every station doing what I want it to do, and then I'll button everything up at that point, and it should be good to go.
Okay.
But like I say, the cool thing about a Dylan, as long as you're running the same case length, which you shouldn't really have to worry about on pistols. But I use my 550 for 308, 30-06, 270, 45 ACP, pretty much anything with a large primer. I use the Dylan for, because it's real easy to just change out. Most of the time, it's just a tool head up top. But everything is already set. Set it and forget it, which is a real factor that I love about the Dylan. You will have to play with it, and yes, you will mess up a case or two getting it set up. You'll have to pour the powder back out and just throw that in the corner. Let the dog play with it, give him something to chew on. But once you set it and forget it, you don't have to worry about it, especially if you're shooting the same exact bullet with the same exact load. Set your powder charger, bam, bam, boom, done. Every time you pull the handle after the third time, you got a completed round coming out. And I just really like that. I can go from 45 ACP to 308, and everything is exact. I don't need a micrometer bullet seat and die. It knows where it's going. So it's the way that you set up the Dylan. Any play that in the tool head or the base plate gets accounted for as you're setting it up the first time. So once you get it set up, and like what you said, make your final adjustments with a round in every station, and that's it. It's a done deal.
Yeah, Kyle, Edward had a question there. He's not getting a full index on his Dylan in station one. I think probably some of it had to do with the fact that he was camming over, which I wouldn't suggest. But two things. One, if you're not getting a full stroke forward and back, you will have an indexing issue. If that's not the issue, get you one of these alignment pins here, alignment tools here from Dylan, and get your shell plate, I don't know what you call it, but I'm going to call it the base of the press. Use this to get everything in alignment, and that issue should go away. And if you can't get one of these from Dylan, send me an email. I think I got an extra one I'll send out to you, and that should take care of your problem.
I guess he's running a 650 or 750 or something like that.
Yeah, sometimes the indexing gets out of time, and it could be one that you were camming over on the shell plate.
Exactly.
Or not full stroking it forward and back. But
which is what I said earlier. Certain die manufacturers say run it down till it touches and then go an extra quarter turn. That Dylan is set up different than that. You can use aftermarket dies in Dylan presses. They've always said that you could. You just got to play with them. I don't have a 650. I'm running off a 550, and I love the bastard. It's the very first press I ever bought. I love it to death. And I've loaded I can't tell you how many tens of thousands of rounds off of it. But since then, I've moved on to other presses because it didn't seem fitting to me to have one press to do everything when I'm shooting them 1,000, 1,500 9mm in a weekend, you know. But then I'm still shooting 308s, or I'm still shooting 40s, or whatever. So I got a different press and set it up. This press is only for this, and then I got another press. This press is only for this. Then I got another press. This press is only for this, and then I realized I had too many damn presses.
That indexing issue can occur on the 550 as well. This pin works on every Dillon press, but you can actually have misalignment from your tool on the top of your ram to your tool head up top when you stroke it up and they're not lined up.
I have never had that issue on a 550. I haven't. You keep it clean. If you have a major gunpowder spill, take your press apart, clean it out, and we shouldn't have any problems. Sharenda, wasn't there something that you wanted to say?
Yes. And I actually would like to share my screen with you guys if y'all don't mind. Hold on. Let's see how this works. Okay, there it is.
I'm gonna go inside so the frogs will shut up.
Oh, why is it not showing? Okay. Alrighty. Y'all see these cool little devices here?
They look like little Johnny number 5s.
Yeah, well, these are all-terrain wheelchairs, and what I would like for you guys to do, and I'll be bugging you later for a part 2, is that the organization that I'm part of, wilderness.org, we are working to get women outdoors in all aspects of outdoors, whether it be shooting or even something as simple as hiking. And most of y'all know that I've gotten quite addicted to hunting. So one of the things that, yeah, me. And one of the things we secured for January is we would like to do a women's veteran disabled hunt. These will be the wheelchairs that we will provide for them, and they have gun rest made on them. So if they need assistance with that, they'll be able to use it. And we would like to have 4 women. And what my organization has come up with so far, besides securing the chairs, the land to hunt on, we have funding where we're going to pay for a non-residential license, 1 tag, and 1 hotel stay. And we'll also cover meals. What I would like for you guys to do is, if you're aware of a disabled veteran woman that would like to go on a doe hunt, I would love for you to get the word out. Something else that I'll probably be doing later after we get some more details, we're only going to be able to cover the 4 women. And I got to thinking that one night at a hotel may not be enough. We don't have enough to cover more than 1 hotel stay before the hunt. So I was thinking about maybe doing a GoFundMe to see if anyone would like to donate in case the ladies need an additional day at a hotel, or if they want to pay to have their harvest processed at the butcher and then shipped to them. We typically harvest ourselves. Some may not want to, or may not want to deal with it. But that would be real neat if you guys will help me out in getting the word out. And later on, I'll share a flyer or info with where they can go to sign up. This will be in January, so it'll be in the wintertime. But that was my favor that I would like to ask of you guys. If you could send me info on 4 women.
I think that is killer. I love that. That is awesome.
And that's why I was late today. We were working out some more details on that. So that's all I had to share. But I would love it if we can get 4 non-residential ladies that would love to go on a doe hunt. We'll cover the room, the tags, the license, And I would like to probably start a fundraiser to get the harvest shipped back to them so they don't have to worry about it.
That's killer.
That's awesome.
Sharinda, where are you going to be having the hunt at?
So it's going to be in the state of Kansas. So naturally, the woman would have to provide a
Big
way to
deer
get
country.
here. Yeah.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
And that was all I had. So I'll give you guys more detail later. But since it's January and transportation would need to be provided, figure the sooner the better. And then I'll also provide our website so you can tell the ladies to go sign up so they can get the notice, or my email address.
Well, Angel's not handicapped, but can she come hunting?
Well, not on this particular one, but the week after, Angel could, and Angel could even come and bunk out with me.
Oh, she would love that. She would love that. I'm sure she's at home watching this right now.
Yeah, we can talk later, but Angel has my invite.
She has to work. She has to work tomorrow, so she went ahead and went to her house instead of coming here to play with me and baby girl. Don't look at me like that. She's all like sad, like, where's mama?
Hey,
Sharinda,
Yes. I'm here.
I'll contact the Veterans Hospital here in St. Petersburg
Okay.
and have one of the nurses put a note up, and I'll get with you after the chat to get your number that you want called for that and your email, and I'll have them put it up in there because there's a lot of lady soldiers that would probably be interested with disabilities that would really get some enjoyment out of that.
I would love it. One of our main goals is, we want to get to a point where we can go out and do these hunts on our own, which is surprising in such a short time I've got there, and we don't feel like there should be any reason why someone else can't go. So I'm really excited about this.
so Jerry, brother, don't nobody owe me anything, man. I shoot 40. I shoot a good bit of 40. That's my carry caliber of choice, and single shot needs it. So if y'all can get together and send it to him, that'd be great.
Single shot needs 40.
Single shot needs 40.
Does it need brass bullets or both?
Probably brass.
I got you, boo.
Yeah, he gave me a 2-pound coffee can full of it once.
Well, then why that's why he needs it.
That's why I don't need it. I mean,
he needs it. He gave it to you.
No, you gave it to me.
Oh yeah, I did. I've got 40 brass.
Yeah, he needs brass. I think he's got a mold. So.
Oh, hang on.
Chico's still having issues. I'm gonna have to go down to his house.
He might need some IT assistance there, Jamie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd do that. He probably put me to work picking shit out of the garden.
I'll be glad to do that too on the Haffers.
I'm telling you, man, him and Carter have been having a ball out there.
Carter might snuck and got on that tablet on him tonight too.
Yeah, he might.
Something happened because we ain't seen my brother Chico here in a minute.
Yeah. Tread, I was talking to Chico earlier in the week, and it seems that when he calls the cable provider, they come and do that test, that speed test you're talking about, and then take off, and that gets him out of the house. And then he has, no speed. So there's Mr. Bacon. Welcome in, brother. You're not late here.
Jamie, do you have a plan for a package heading out to Single Shot?
I do not. I don't know of anything that I need to send him.
All right, 10-4, 10-4. I was just going to throw a bunch of brass and bullets in there with it. Don't tell Willie, but I put a package in the mail today.
Well, we won't tell. There's MCK too.
Hey, Mark. Bye, Mark.
What?
He's about as bad as Mig.
I'm jealous. Right now, I'm jealous. Lakeview got an elk tag.
What?
He got an elk tag. I'm so jealous.
I'm jealous too.
What state's it in? Is it a Tennessee elk tag?
No, it's a Utah elk tag.
Oh, you bastard. You bastard.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say that, but.
Well, I did.
I know you did. I heard you.
You've seen me do it. Oh, man.
All right, so are we done, Sharonda?
I am done for now.
All right, Tread, do me a favor, brother. I know you're still out there. Can you throw that link up one more time? Because we've already raised over $400. Can you throw that link up one more time for Old Soldier? We're trying to buy him a new couch. I know he needs one.
How about that?
There you go. Anything we can do. And I'm sorry, Lee. I'm not trying to throw you on the spot. I know you didn't ask for it. I'm taking a page out of the Crazy Scotsman's handbook right now. And you didn't know nothing about it, but it's coming your way. I'm really thankful for everybody that has donated. We'll do this, for another week, you think? Jamie? Anybody?
I'm just I'm trying to keep up with the.
I'm just amazed at what's happened tonight. Because I have no clue what I'm doing. But I'll make sure it gets to you, Lee. I'll make sure it gets to you. I say we go through next weekend, see what we can come up with. I know everybody's dealing with their own strives and struggles, and I appreciate everything that everybody's done. And my heart just pours out to all of y'all in the side chat that have done something. And I'm really proud to be a part of it, you know.
Sharonda, I got 40 Smith & Wesson bullets coming out my ears, hon.
May I bump some off of you to make dummy rounds, please?
If you will do me the favor of texting me your address.
Oh, yes, Jamie, I do have a new address.
Jamie, please share that. We will flood her with 40 Smith & Wesson.
Oh, Lord. I only need 10 to 12. Just 10 to 12, not 10 to 1,200.
No, you don't say that around here.
1,000?
No, just 10 to 12.
We'll just put a K on the end of the 12.
But, if I get a bunch of them, I may have to go buy a 40.
Wait a minute. You ain't even got a 40?
No, I just have 9.
What the hell do you want the round for?
Well, I'm loading dummy rounds for another lady that has a 40 and she wants to practice carrying it at home but doesn't want to do it with live rounds but wants weighted magazines. It's Women Logic.
Women Logic.
Makes sense to her. Works for me.
Okay, as we're over time at this point, Tread's doing us a favor by putting up the addresses, channel addresses for our guests tonight. So we got Pink Tears, Echo and the BunnyMan, and Squatch Reloading. Y'all go sub those guys, or at least check them out and see if it's something. If you like what they're doing, you can sub. So that being said, I'm getting kind of tired. We're already overtime, so
only by 1 minute. We started late.
We did start late, and with that, we'll start going through the room. We'll start with Echo. Where do you think we need to start next week, Echo? Echo.
I think we need to start on do it. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
we can hear you now.
I got a delay. Okay. Basically, I think we need to go over we did brass prep. I covered a little bit of brass lubrication. You all hit on it as well. We can go into dyes to a certain extent on what we use them for, how to set up each die in your press. And we could just show single stage setup for beginners. Most people aren't going to dive in both feet first with a progressive. So we could show some basic setup. Then we want to go ahead and show basically, did we cover trimming brass and what we use to trim? We haven't done that, have we?
No, we were supposed to tonight, but we didn't.
We didn't get that far.
Okay.
So
I suggest we start on trimming brass.
I can set up my mobile YouTube stage down in the basement over the 1981 Curtis Mathis that I still use. Nobody finds that funny.
I love Curtis Mathis. I remember the old Magnavoxes, the only U.S. TV ever made.
I kind of took you for a Zenith guy, Kyle.
Well, I can send you a picture. It's Curtis Mathis. I remember the remote control was about that big. And only had like 6 buttons on it.
And took a 9-volt battery.
Actually, I think it did.
Yes, it does. Just like a garage door opener.
I think it did. Oh, that's been a minute ago. Wow.
That was back when you didn't want your wife or girlfriend to throw the controller at you.
Oh, God almighty. Hell no, you'd flip the couch over. Especially if she had good aim.
Yeah. So we want to go.
Hello.
He froze up.
Okay, so next week we'll start with trimming.
Sounds good.
I think we need to trim, but size before we trim. So we're going slow, but we're trying to be as in depth as possible. Lakeview, thank you for sending my buddy Single Shot some 40 brass, and I appreciate it. So we'll go on to Squatch. What you got coming up, brother?
I'm gonna probably jump back on the 223 series I got cooking right now and talk a little bit about sizing. So we're gonna get into putting the primers in and seating bullets and stuff like that. So we're just gonna work through it. That's kind of what I got going on the reloading game, besides all the work stuff. But I was just looking at we had about 34 people still on and 9 thumbs up. So when you guys get out of here, if you would hit that thumbs up button. These guys put on a good show, and there's a lot of good information. And any guys thinking about getting reloading, send them here. And I think Kyle said this before. The only dumb questions the one that wasn't asked. But with that, I'll turn it over to. I think Kyle said this was easier, so Sharinda.
Cheater. I don't have anything coming up other than next Friday. I'm going, and I hope I'm saying this right, frog gigging for the first time. Gonna camp for the first time and eat them there for the first time. I am ready.
Hell yeah, Louisiana.
And that's all I have.
Okay, I'll take it. Squatch, if you need me to send you about 4,500 Lee 223 projectiles, if I can fit them all in one flat rate box, I'll do it. Because I can't do shit with them. They won't shoot. I've got several different ARs with several different barrel twists, and I can't make it happen. You're more than welcome to them, or else I'm going to melt them down into 44 Magnum or 308. I hadn't figured it out yet.
I appreciate it, brother.
Everything's going great over here. It's just hotter than 400 hells. I can't buy a rain shower. It's raining everywhere except my house. Got a dog sitting here that I got to take to the vet tomorrow. I lost my key ring with her rabies tag on it. I got to go take her and have her get another shot, and so I can get a new tag. And I'm not worried about losing the car key or the house key or whatever. I'm worried about losing the key ring that my girlfriend gave me. That kind of bothers me. See, I am sentimental.
Edward, keep your head down, brother.
What? Who did what?
There's a hurricane blowing in the Atlantic, so he's on hurricane watch. He's on the east coast of Florida. So
stay low and slow. I'm very thankful for everybody that showed up here, and I'm gonna see if I can get this right on the first time. I'm not even going to attempt to practice it. I'm going to say, "Hey, Chico, whoop! I did it."
I'm going to try this. I hope everyone can hear me. You may hear the helicopter if y'all remember way back when. So everyone, thanks for being here. I didn't get to make it in time. I'm having some issues. I still don't know if I have that fixed yet, but we really appreciate y'all and appreciate y'all hitting the like button, the thumbs up button. And also, what was I gonna say? So our community, it's full of a lot of different members with a lot of different stuff. So this is what I'm gonna do. I seen this on AOK Adventures, one of their lives. When we're done with this live, what I want y'all to do, if y'all like Second Amendment channels, 2A EDU, AOK Adventures, one of their lives. When we're done with this live, what I want y'all to do, if y'all like Second Amendment channels, 2A EDU, AOK Adventures, one of their lives. When we're done with this live, what I want y'all to do, if y'all like Second Amendment. Who is that? Is that me?
No, it was me.
Okay, I'm like, damn, is that it?
It was me. Sorry, my bad.
Y'all go over there to that live, and when you go over there, say Georgia Shooting Connection Raid. So with that, it's 244 people over there watching, and he will know me. But they got a good channel because we're always trying to build our subscribers because it's a lot of people over there that's thinking about reloading. That title is ammo shortage. So just go over there if y'all got time. Say just when you go over there, say Georgia Shooting Connection Raid. They're gonna be like, who the hell is that? So we really appreciate y'all being here with us, even though I wasn't in. I was in and out actually, So hopefully we'll have that settled by next week. So we really appreciate it. That's it for me. I don't know.
I'm sorry, brother. I was too busy in the middle of the dreaded repeat and the echo. Who was that again?
2AEDU.
2AEDU, yeah.
2AEDU.
Hold on a minute.
I didn't do it.
He's got a good channel, man. I'm over there on his stuff a lot of times.
So basically, while we're in the middle of our live stream, you're off watching somebody else's live stream. Is that what I mean?
No. And you know what? So look, this how it pops up. Look, you see Jordan live, and his was live too. So I was like, oh yeah.
So let's go bomb him after this is over. What do y'all say?
Go over there and say, Jordan Shooting Connection Raid. I'm like, who the hell?
And one thing I want to say is thank you, everybody, for everything that y'all have done. And I don't know if Thoughts of an Old Soldier still here. I was kind of hoping we could do this behind the back, but I think he saw it, and I know he saw it because he texted me. But I appreciate everything that everybody's doing. Like I say, he says he's got good insurance and all that stuff. But if he misses his white bear fur rug, let's just buy him one. Come on, guys, let's get together. Let's make it happen. My first time actually being in charge of something like this, and I don't know what to do.
You're doing fine. So I also would thank all you guys for joining us at one time. We have 51 here tonight. I want to thank Kyle for being back with us. Chico, I miss you when you're not here, brother. I don't know how to act without you. I'm just saying. Echoing the BunnyMan, he's having issues with his internet too. He's fell off again. Man, that dude just, like I said before, he's forgotten more than I'm ever going to know. So I gotta thank Sharonda as always. Squatch, we appreciate you being here with us too. And if it's all right with you guys, we'll do what we can to get Squatch in here, if not every single week when he's available for this beginning and reloading stuff, because it's right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And Squatch, you just let me know if you can't make it or if you ain't interested, whatever. Just say the word, brother. We'd be glad to have you with us as we progress through this.
Nope, I appreciate it.
And with that, I ask y'all to go to the Reloaders Network, check out my new video. I'll probably be turning it live here in just a few minutes, or I'll probably wait till about Tuesday or Wednesday. So
that's not a few minutes.
I know. So we'll check out while we're saying goodnight. We'll be watching 2AEDU on Sharonda's computer. Guys, God bless y'all real good. Check us out on Georgia Shooting Connection on Instagram. Check out the Reloaders Network, Headspace, and Discord. We're in touch. Y'all be in touch. Check us out. Send us an email at GeorgiaShootingsConnection@gmail.com. God bless y'all all real good. We'll see y'all next week, Lord willing. Good night.
Good night.